Hi, I'm Ginny from Break Your Shell Tarot Readings. Having read the tarot for over 25 years, I've noticed that people tend to fall into one of a few categories when it comes to why they seek out tarot readings. Many people visit me as a part of a weekend away, and for a lot of them it's simply a novelty. Having a reading is some harmless fun that gives them something to chat about with their group of friends. After all, the tarot cards were originally designed for card playing. Occasionally, when I'm doing a vanity reading, some serendipity takes place. The person I'm reading for isn't expecting any great insight, but then the collective unconscious surprises them with a set of revealing cards. Then there is the other side of the coin, when people come to see me not out of curiosity, but because there has been a great disturbance in their lives. I admire the courage it takes for people to recognize they can't solve everything by themselves and that the rational mind falls short when the soul stirs. In the tarot, the suit of cups or goblets represents the element of water. When the suit of cup appears, situations and events of an emotional nature, including love or loss, need to be addressed for one's psyche to find greater wholeness and healing. Some people seek a reading from a place of desperation or a gaping unmet need. They're looking for a reader to be the voice of God, who will tell them that everything will be okay or that their ideal future is just around the corner. Others are looking for someone to impart wisdom and instruct them in what they should do with their lives, rather than take clues from the unconscious and go on their own inner journey. In the tarot, the High Priestess symbolizes that each of us must go into the underworld and explore our own shadow side and the areas of ourselves we have suppressed or projected onto others. Unfortunately, when people are searching for a reader, when they are in a vulnerable, desperate, or undergrounded place, they can become targets for charlatans and opportunists who give tarot a bad name. In my experience, about half of the people I see for readings come from a healthy intent. They are letting go and opening up, having realized that living solely from the ego or one's conscious mind results in a confused life where the blind lead the blind. A life without soul expression eventually becomes a life of dull routines, obligations, and addictions. The psychologist Carl Jung devoted his life to exploring the realms of the unconscious and the collective conscious. The tarot draws on both of these areas to help people lead more functional lives and make greater sense of the bigger picture. As Jung put it, man's task is to become conscious of the contents that press upward from the unconscious. The sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. For some people who come to get readings, the psyche makes its claims by causing them to ask themselves reflective questions like, who am I, or is there any greater meaning to my life? With those people who are more relationship orientated, many come to explore partnership issues. Many have outgrown their partners and they come looking for confirmation as to whether they should stay or leave. With work often dominating a person's focus, many come to see me after they reach a point where their soul expression has been starved for too long. They arrive for a reading at something of a crossroads. Do they keep playing it safe and stay with what they know until retirement? Or will they take a risk and pursue that long-buried passion of theirs. Carl Jung suggested that our conscious mind is similar to our persona. Essentially, it's a mask we show people to conceal our real selves. As we move from early adulthood to mid-adulthood, the persona no longer serves us. We don't feel good about settling for approval over authenticity. I find that many people who come for readings are in the midst of or about to enter a midlife passage. Should a person not pay attention to the malaise they feel, then the psyche ramps things up. One day a person is haunted by their dreams, and the next some real-world crisis descends. A family feud or resentment flares up. But the tarot might show that these family dynamics represent a bigger issue. A person's psyche is driven to see them individuate and become all they can be, and so the tarot cards will highlight the need for a person to assert their boundaries and cut the constraints or conditioning of those around them. Losing a loved one is another thing that can provoke someone to come for a reading. Oftentimes, the grief they feel over a person brings to the surface an even greater grief: their loss of self. Many women I see come for readings due to feelings they're overwhelmed by needs of people they care for, and they want to know how to reclaim their selfhood. Meanwhile, a lot of men come feeling stressed and pressured by their roles as providers, psychically feeling the weight of the world upon them. As Carl Jung explained, the basic cause of all the difficulties of this midlife transition is to be found in a deep-seated and peculiar change within the psyche. Come midlife, the psyche can no longer cope with a compartmentalized life. Women are invited to be more than simply good wives, dutiful daughters, and a perfect partner. Instead, they are asked to incorporate masculine qualities such as assertiveness. Conversely, men are asked to spend less time striving and more time developing their emotional intelligence and caring for others. A client may not listen to someone close to them who suggests that they might need to go and let go of unwarranted shame or guilt that is weighing them down. But to their surprise, something that can seem so inanimate, like a tarot card reading, acts as a bridge, allowing their conscious and unconscious minds to reconcile, and in this way a reading can allow for deep insight and healing. Lastly, I find there are a number of people who implement regular tarot readings as part of their self-care and their quest for wholeness. The more people tend to their inner journeys, the richer their life becomes. It still amazes me, after all these years of doing readings, how many people come because they consciously or unconsciously feel presented with a big choice to make regarding an opportunity for growth or prosperity. So, as you can see, there are a number of reasons why people seek out tarot readings. Some of these are more conscious than others, but ultimately it comes down to people wanting to further their growth and recognizing that their inner lives have needs and drives that need and demand attention. Over and over again, the tarot has shown me that the archetypes and symbols within it allows us to tap into the deep wisdom of our unconscious and the infinite wisdom of the collective unconscious. I hope you found this video informative. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll find my future videos when they're released. To have a phone, Skype, or in-person tarot reading with me, please contact me via my website.